Welcome to Nagoya. Today is day 4 in Japan, and we are in Nagoya. Yes, one of the largest cities in Japan. And I woke up feeling rather silly. Instead of a traditional Japanese breakfast, I chose to wake up and walk on the adventurous side, and attempt the spicy ramen challenge, in fact. I'm not going to show that because I actually dedicated an entire video to it, so if you're interested, please check it out in the comment section down below. I'll make sure that I leave a link. Once I was done obliterating my sinuses, I decided to take a quick stroll to Nagoya Castle. On my way to the historic site, I made a quick pit stop at a Japanese Shinto shrine. It was one that I had actually never been to before. The torii gate was gigantic, and it appeared to be made out of some sort of brownish metallic material. I loved how it was somewhat tucked away off to the side in the forest. The foliage was complemented nicely with the naturalistic feel of the shrine. The lion sculptures brought me back to a time, possibly in the Edo period, where a place such as this might be littered with worshippers from far and wide. It isn't uncommon to see animal statues guarding Shinto shrines, as opposed to human statues at a Buddhist shrine. I loved the bamboo spout that continuously dripped spring water for worshippers to purify themselves with. You could tell that this shrine was very well maintained. It was clean, displaying a few offerings that people had left behind, but the high quality of upkeep was most made clear by the ladles that laid perfectly spaced apart at the wash basin. After my sister and I left here, we slowly made our way to Nagoya Castle. The castle was constructed in 1615 by Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu. We only had to pay 500 yen to get in, which at the time of filming this video was maybe about $3 US. So it was super cheap. The first thing that caught my attention while walking around the grounds was the massive size of the moat that was dug around the site. If I'm not mistaken and can perform mental math properly, there are actually 2 moats that I am confident completely thwarted any invaders that dared to capture the gigantic castle. Just to put the massive size of the castle into perspective, just look at the tiny deer that I found relaxing within the trenches surrounding it. They looked minuscule in comparison to the gigantic stone walls of Nagoya Castle. The castle itself is such a gorgeous structure. There are multiple watchtowers on the property, obviously for surveillance, and the castle itself rests atop a pile of massive stones, placing it at least 5 stories high. All of the windows are made out of a nice thick wooden material, and the roof has an almost emerald and spruce pine green shade to it. All of this is accented by 2 golden tigerfish at the tippy top of the building. Also, if you were wondering, yes, the scales of the fish are covered in authentic 18-karat gold. There's nothing about Nagoya Castle that doesn't feel like an echo back to a time long ago. This traditional royal structure towers over you the moment that you step foot onto the grounds. I love that they have warriors, for example, samurai if you will, walking about and most eager to greet you. If you wish to snap a picture with them, they do speak a bit of English, so I was able to engage in a quick conversation with them and share a laugh. Sadly, I wasn't able to go into the castle itself because it is currently under renovation, but I was able to venture into the Hommaru Palace beside it and do a little bit of a deeper dive into Japanese architecture at the time. Hommaru Palace is littered with gold archways and golden leaf walls. Once the residence of the Owaru Tokugawa clan, this was actually one of the first castle structures on this property to be designated a national treasure. Light floods all throughout the hallways and rooms of the palace. It looks beautiful with its tatami mats and elegantly polished wooden floors. For ancient times, everything about the hallways and rooms screams comfort to the extreme. You would never have been able to tell that this structure was destroyed by the United States during World War II. Fortunately, because the Japanese keep extensive records of everything, they were able to rebuild it in 2018 to the exact architectural specifications of the original building during the Edo period. The floors were squishy under our feet, and the artwork displayed on the sliding doorways took my breath away. The gold trimming surrounding all of the detailed art at times became overwhelming, but not in a bad way. I just couldn't wrap my mind around the extravagance, time, patience, and amount of money it probably took to recreate this building. Some rooms literally glowed when the sunlight beamed into the space. The roof in the hallways was littered with glossy volcanic black lacquer and golden support beams that were tied together in checkerboard patterns. And the windows that led outside to the courtyard were designed with beautiful golden rectangular panels that displayed some sort of abstract pattern. There were so many unique structures, archways, and artistic flares that I sort of struggled to put this building into words. Under each archway was a colorful framed carving with golden clouds and bluebirds or white birds birds flittering about. For this palace to be as beautiful as it is in the modern day, with all of our technology and innovation that we have, there's no doubt in my mind that hundreds of years ago, this would have been one of the most fanciful and luxurious dwellings on Earth. The gold tones of the entire structure scream that you are in a religious or even holy place. Also, the little grannies walking about, showing reverence to the spectacle before them, certainly adds to the atmosphere. It was hard to not feel like you needed to cleanse yourself before stepping foot into this space. Even the doorways had golden filigree paneling that made the entrance of each room feel special in its own way. Oh, and let me not forget the fact that there was literally the Ark of the Covenant housed within the palace. I'm obviously joking, so please don't take offense to that, but this treasure chest was truly fascinating. It was super cool. All in all, our tour of the Hommaru Palace and the grounds around Nagoya Castle was very enlightening. I definitely felt I saw a side of the ruling class in Japan that most during the time period were never able to witness. Hopefully, if you get the chance to visit, you'll actually be able to ascend into Nagoya Castle itself, but as for us, we weren't as lucky. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed the tour of Nagoya Castle. Andrea, did we have fun? Yep. Andrea's trying to figure out where we're gonna go next. But all right, we'll see you at the next location. Peace. Next, we left to do some shopping at a vendor's market and the surrounding shopping streets of Osu Kannon. We were more so famished than anything else at this point in the day, so Andrea asked me if I wanted to try something new. Of course I said yes, so she found a Hitsumabushi restaurant for us. One thing Nagoya is famous for is eel, and honestly, I can completely understand the hype. After we booked a room upstairs, I tried to film from a really cool angle of us eating lunch, but unfortunately another couple arrived. Our food was very hearty. We had a big helping of eel on top of a bed of rice. Also, we were served pickles, radish, and a side order of tempura shrimp and vegetables, alongside a bowl of miso soup. But the most surprising item of the lunch was actually at the bottom of the miso soup: eel liver. Yes, you heard me correctly, that is eel liver. And I think it's in the bottom of this miso soup, I believe.
It's not miso.
It's not miso? So, okay. Misspeaking. This is eel liver. It's really soft. It's almost like biting into some fatty salmon is kind of how that tastes. It's not bad. And it's kind of plain, to be honest with you. It didn't hit me with like a hard taste, a little bit salty. That's about it. It's not bad. So we just got done with our meal and they gave us these cookies to go. Isn't this so great? That's awesome. Knocking around Nagoya on day 4 in Japan was special. We proceeded to leave this area and head to get ice cream, or at least Andrea did, because I'm lactose intolerant. And then we knocked around Animate for a bit to see what they had to offer, and then finally headed towards Oasis 21 to look at the TV tower. Me and my parents had been here before with Andrea several years earlier, but it really was a nice treat to kind of revisit the site and just see it actually during the daytime, because before we'd seen it at night. I know Nagoya gets a rap for being one of the more boring cities in Japan, but honestly I think that this couldn't be further from the truth. This place has a lot to offer and it really is a lot of fun. So if you're ever in Japan, make sure that you check out Japan's 3rd or 4th largest city. Tomorrow we're going to be heading to Yamanashi, a prefecture my sister lived in for 5+ years. Day 5 was actually my favorite day in Japan because we get to go see owls and hold them. If you know me personally, you know that I've loved owls ever since I was little. So the fact that I was able to actually encounter so many different species in one place really was a nice treat. So if that's your thing, make sure that you subscribe. And even if it's not, then that's okay too. I still want to thank you so much for making it this far in the video, and I just want to say have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. That's eel liver?